has been going on in my life right now. And I've also just been talking a lot to social media managers and speaking a lot in my content about, welcome back everyone, we're doing another casual little cozy corner moment for the podcast. And today honestly is such a beautiful day. I feel like I'm gonna get into this in my life update, but I'm just feeling like really good where everything's at in my life right now. And I was thinking to myself before I started recording this that like sometimes we don't take those moments to recognize and like celebrate and actually feel good in those moments. Oh, here's Sunny. And so I just want to take a moment to like do that for myself, but also to remind you all like it's okay and like give yourself permission to feel good about your life. I feel like sometimes we're always searching for ways that we can better ourselves or better things in our life or improve or, you know, whatever it is. But sometimes I feel like we just need to take a second to be like, I'm like content, you know, with where I'm at. Like I'm happy with how things are going career-wise, things are going, you know, socially or personally in my life. And also as you're doing that, then recognize like, why do you think that is? And as I'm getting into my life updates, I think there are big reasons why I'm kind of feeling that right now. And a lot of it has to do with just being fulfilled within multiple different areas of my life and feeling like I'm having more of a equilibrium and more of a balance in the many different areas of my life that, you know, mean a lot to me. So a lot of this to say as you go into the life updates, that it's been a really awesome just couple of weeks. I feel like there's been a lot of really great like business and client wins that have been happening, and then there's been really great life moments and things that we've been doing in terms of like checking out different places, spending time with friends. So a lot of this kind of I feel like started last week when we did, I'm like literally it was a long weekend this past weekend, so I feel like it just, you know, throws everything off. But we went to Washington for about like 4 days, I think. And I had a really great client photo shoot that we did all day, pretty much on Thursday. And I just love the in-person content creation days, and particularly this client and this team are just so amazing, so kind, so great to work with, and it just totally like filled me up and just like filled my cup and just made me feel really happy with the clients I'm working with the work that I'm doing. And so that was just such a blast. And it was also so nice to be, you know, back in Seattle again and just back in where we used to live and do and visit the places that we love to go to and the coffee shops and the shops and all of that. And we also went to dinner with some of our friends who lived there, so it was just so great to spend time with them, you know, catch up, see them. And then we spent, I just love Saturdays, like going around shops, doing the coffee shop thing. We spent some time doing that, which was so fun. And then we headed to an area in Washington we'd never been before on Whidbey Island and got to explore. And we had another great night with our friends going to dinner and just so many like really present moments, I feel. And on Sunday we had our engagement photo shoot, which was just perfection. It was so fun. The photographer that we hired is one of my friends and business buddies, and it was just so much fun. We had such a great day and time, and then got like Monday kind of to chill back at home. So I just feel like, again, the work, the friends, the social, the, you know, engagement shoot, is just so many things that just felt so good. And just kind of going into this week with just great client, you know, projects we're working on, wins. I signed a really awesome client that I've been wanting to work with forever, and it's just feeling really good. The weather is, you know, is still so nice. And so yeah, it's just, I'm feeling good. I went to work at a coffee shop today and worked on a like design project for a client, which I really love to like put my head down for a few hours and just like dive into some design elements. And the other thing, I guess maybe this goes into why I'm also feeling good, but something that, you know, I'm trying not to feel down on myself on is gonna do 75 hard update. I don't want to call it failed, but did fall off the bandwagon after day 50, which is like, I know, so close to the full 75, but part of it, I think, is I'm also feeling kind of a relief of pressure of like all these things that I have to kind of do in a day. And I'm definitely gonna do a whole episode on 75 Hard, because it's not like I've like thrown out all the things I've been doing out the window, but I'm trying to beat myself up about it. But that is something that also happened within the past week. And the last thing I want to update is that as we're kind of going into this fall season, we've been spending some time doing things like puzzles, just reading a lot more, doing like crosswords and playing board games and like cards and things like that. And it's so fun. It's so great to kind of unwind more in that way during the evening than just like watching, sitting and watching TV. So that's what I've been up to. I would highly recommend to do some puzzles, spend some more time reading, cozy up. So that's pretty much what has been going on in my life right now. And I've also just been talking a lot to social media managers and speaking a lot in my content about up-leveling your services, really focusing on experience, which brings me into the topic that we are going to talk about today. And I have my little handy dandy notes down here. If you see me glancing, that is why. But I am going to talk about 5 things to make sure that you have included in your social media management packages. And whether you are literally starting from scratch here in terms of creating your packages, whether you have packages but you're really looking to refine them, or if you've been an agency owner, you've been in this for a while, maybe there's a couple thoughts or things that I'll bring up here that might spark something for you to really just make sure that you have included or policy around it or something. So we're gonna dive into what I think are kind of the 5 most important things, and typically what I either see people may be missing or they may not be super clear on in your packages. Now, the first thing that I want to start off saying is that you are allowed to create packages that you love and that are specific to your business. I see a lot of social media managers trying to model and copy off of what other social media managers have in their packages. And while I think you can get good inspiration and kind of a good structure for what to have, please know that you can follow your own path here, meaning that you do not need maybe 3 levels of packages. Maybe you have one just standard package that people fall into. Maybe you do not manage various platforms. You're not doing Pinterest and TikTok and LinkedIn and all those things. Maybe you just focus on Instagram, or maybe you just focus on TikTok, or whatever it may be. And maybe there are things within social media management that you don't enjoy doing. If it's, you are not doing any of the copywriting, or you're not doing anything with reels, or like you're not doing any engagement, or whatever it is, make these packages so that you truly love delivering these packages. And keep in mind what your specific niche and ideal client is needing and wanting in the packages. So this is really going to help cater and build the business that you love, working with people that you love, and not lead to burnout as quickly, right? And it just not lead to dreading doing certain elements of the job. And keeping in mind here that you are the business owner, like you can truly create what you want here. So full permission slip that I'm giving you right now to always start there in your packages. Now, number 1 is going to obviously be the platforms. So what platforms are you managing in the packages? Let's say you have 3 different levels of packages. Does the first level have 1 platform? Does the second have 2 platforms? Does the third have 3 platforms? And what are those platforms, right? Are they set platforms? Does the client choose between, certain platforms? Be very clear how many platforms and which ones. And also just some things to keep in mind here that have really recently been brought up, I'd say in the past year, is what does this look like in terms of adding collaborators on post, resharing to Facebook, right? We want to be really clear here if a client's asking, oh, can I just, share this post as a collaborator for this other page? You are essentially creating content for 2 Instagram pages, right? Or, if a client is asking, can we just reshare the Instagram content to Facebook? Sure, you could do that, but, that's not going to include any other Facebook elements to manage that Facebook page. So just be very, very clear around these kind of new features that are popping up that I just notice a lot of clients have questions around. So that is number 1, be crystal clear in the platforms and have set parameters around, having content go in other places. Now, number 2, which is gonna be the second most obvious thing, is how many posts per week are included in packages. And being very clear that it is a set number of posts or it goes up to a certain number of posts here. And when are these posts occurring? Meaning, when are they getting posted? I personally keep posts between Monday and Friday so that I'm not worrying about anything during the weekend if a post fails or I need to manually publish a reel or stories or whatever it may be, because some clients may want you to post on the weekend. And what does, your policy look like and what days in terms of when the posts are actually going live? And the other big elements here are when we say posts, what does that include? Meaning, does this include reels, or is it set amount of static posts, set amount of reels for the week? And the other element here as well are stories. So how many stories are you posting per week or per day? And do you have certain templated scheduled out stories and then more like real-time daily type of stories? Be very clear with what that looks like in the packages so the client will know exactly what to expect and what they are getting, and make sure to follow through on that in your package deliverables. Now, number 2, which let's say you don't want to include any engagement at all in your package, that is totally fine, but what does engagement look like in your packages? Meaning, are you responding to comments? Are you responding to messages, right? Are you monitoring the community and managing those types of communications? If that's included in your packages, but maybe the proactive outbound engagement is not included, maybe that is an add-on, right? So if it is included, however, be clear within each package, this includes 15 minutes of outbound engagement per day, Monday through Friday, right? Or maybe it's 5 days a week or 30 minutes of engagement. Again, be crystal clear on what the different kinds of engagement are and what's included during the week, during the day, and on what days. Now, number 4, and I'm sorry if I said number 2 before and just messed up all the numbers, but next thing we're gonna talk about is call time. So within each package, how much call time does a client get? Because again, this is another thing that clients will have questions about. They may ask you, to have a certain amount of call time or ask for extra call time. So I personally like to build in explicit amount of call times per each package level. So my first package just includes a quarterly strategy call, and they get sent an automated monthly questionnaire each month to help us with things like the content planning. The second one includes 30 minutes of call time a month, and the highest package includes an hour of call time a month. And also, what is the policy for if the client wants extra call time, right? Sure, you can do this, but for an additional, X dollars, right, for that one call. So have this be really clear and make sure that you also are delivering on that call time each month. And going off of that, number 5 is what does communication look like within the package. So outside of the call time, do they get Slack support, right? Or are you doing email support? And what does that container look like? Is it Monday through Friday, 9 to 5? Is it Tuesday through Thursday, 12 to 3? Or, right, whatever your office hours are and your response time back. So do you have a 48-hour, business time turnaround? Will you respond back, I don't know, in 12 hours or whatever it is? Be very, strict around these policies, because this is how clients, they get used to your policies, right? People treat you the way that you kind of set and hold for yourself. So have this be clear in your packages, and a lot of this should be in your contract and, welcome packet and all of that. But really, so much of it will come down to what's included in the package and what's the best fit for someone, dependent on the package and the level that they want to be in. So those are the 5 essential things to make sure that you include in your social media management packages. Now, there may be some other things that, again, you enjoy doing that you want to include in there. Maybe there's something with video editing. Maybe there's something with, email marketing. So be creative, and your options are kind of endless here, and they should be in a sense, but as long as you are keeping a clear container around what's included in the packages and making sure that as you go up in your levels, that it's getting, it's always staying profitable, right? And that there's always an incentive for the client to want to go up to the next level, right? Whether it be they're getting an additional platform, they're getting more posts, they're getting more call time, they're getting an analytics report, right? Whatever it is, incentivize a client moving up in your packages, because ideally, if you have your clients in your highest level package, that is great. So that is really the top 5 for me. And if you are looking for more support specifically on how to customize your packages for yourself, if you're looking for eyeballs on your packages, for feedback, for edits on how to package your services, right? Truly making this personal and custom for you, and just full support, and also making sure that they are profitable and they are priced correctly. This is what I do a deep dive in my group mentorship, my Social Media BFF, which is my group mentorship for social media managers. And we spend 2 weeks on diving into all of this, because I am so passionate about making sure you're delivering services you love while remaining profitable doing so. Now, if you want to learn more, there's going to be a link in the description and the show notes, and you can pop your name on the wait list to be the first to know when spots open up for this mentorship. So if you're interested at all, go check it out. Add your name on the wait list. If you have specific questions on it, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to chat about it, because it's one of my favorite things ever, truly. So thank you so much for being here and tuning in, and I'll chat with you next time.